It's ESPN's Monday Night Baseball tonight from Wrigley Field, Chicago, where for 90 years the Cubs have met their fiercest rival, the Cardinals. They're about to clash again next.
He has tied Barrett. Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star.
ESPN since 1990, your home for Major League Baseball.
It's a rivalry born in America's heartland. 112 years in the making. Two teams, over 2,100 games, and countless memories, many of which are forever entrenched in the minds of those fans and those legends who have taken part.
It's been a great rivalry as long as I've been playing ball, way back in the 40s.
It was always fun to play the Cardinals. That was always the biggest series of the year.
And there's so many things that happen over the course of the years. Musial getting his 3,000 hit there in Chicago, that was a big thing.
I was there when Mark McGwire hit the historic 62nd home run.
There it is, 62, folks.
You're not a human being if you don't get a little more pumped up for those rivalry games.
I think what you're going to see is good baseball on the field.
And so it continues tonight between the Cardinals and the Cubs. The stars are here, and the rivalry takes on added importance as the race for the National League Central crown continues. Monday Night Baseball presented in sharp, clear, high definition. And on a spectacular evening in July inside Wrigley Field, Chicago, one of America's grandest stages for baseball. Tonight, the Cubs will try to cut into the first-place lead of the St. Louis Cardinals. Game one of a quick two-game series, but very important indeed for the Cubs, because as we check the standings in the Central, you see the Cardinals are looking awfully comfortable, leading Chicago by 8 full games. And these two teams do not meet again in the regular season the rest of the year, leaving the Cubs hungry to sweep. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Baseball at Wrigley Field. Dave O'Brien, my partner tonight, Jeff Brantley, and JB. For two reasons, they have that big lead, the St. Louis Cardinals. Number one is surprisingly good starting pitching. Number two, the MVP candidacy of Scott Rowland. He's averaging almost an RBI a game.
Well, when you start talking about MVP caliber player, you're talking about a guy that when Jim Edmonds was on the DL earlier this season, he was the guy that was picking it up. Scott Rowland at third base, not only offensively but defensively. We didn't see the same Albert Pujols at the beginning of the season that we've seen in years past. We saw Scott Rowland pick him up and carry this team on his back. That's why this team is in first place, and that's why he's an MVP candidate.
All right, so the Cubs are 8 games back. Mark Pryor's elbow has stalled again. Isn't it time for Sammy Sosa to put the Chicago Cubs on his back here in the second half?
Well, I think there's no doubt about it. I asked Sammy before the ballgame. I said, Sammy, well, how is this going to happen? He said, I am the one that has got to put it together. And he said, it's going to be a good second half for Sammy Sosa. Sammy has got to come out and hit the ball out of the ballpark, not only when the games are out of hand, but when the games are in clutch situations at the end of the ballgame. That's going to be the Sammy Sosa that's going to get the Cubs back in this thing.
It has not been a typical Sammy Sosa year. Right now, just 17 home runs. He has less than half the RBIs of Scott Rowland, the third baseman of the St. Louis Cardinals, heading into tonight. Rowland has been absolutely on fire all year, but Sammy loves Wrigley Field, and he is home tonight right here on Monday Night Baseball. And nothing typical about game one of this series. It's the Cubs-Cardinals, rivals since their very first meeting 112 years ago in 1892. Coming up tonight, Greg Maddux is 3 wins away from 300 lifetime victories, but when he gets it, will he become the last of a dying breed? Tonight, St. Louis starter Chris Carpenter is one of a bunch of comeback players. They're having terrific years, and this series is the first in a bunch of major series in the week to come. Yankees-Red Sox set to square off this weekend. We'll take a look. We take a look now at Tony La Russa, the skipper of the St. Louis squad, and his general manager, Walt Jocketty, likes this team a lot, so much that he made the statement that the Cardinals will not be involved in any meaningful trades when the trade deadline arrives on July 31st. The Cardinals, as we give you a look at their Genworth starting lineup, very happy with their #1 hitter, Tony Womack. He has been their Energizer Bunny, and he is .353 for an on-base percentage. He has scored 50 runs. Renteria after him. He really carves up tonight's Chicago starter. Albert Pujols at first base, Rolen at third, Edmonds in center with Ray Lankford in left field. Reggie Sanders gets the start in right. Mike Matheny, the Gold Glove catcher. Carpenter, the pitcher, batting ninth, all up against Carlos Zambrano. He is 9-4, and the All-Star a perfect 6-0 at Wrigley Field this year.
Well, when you watch Carlos Zambrano tonight, this is a great challenge for a guy like Zambrano, especially facing this lineup of the St. Louis Cardinals, which may be as good as any lineup in the game. But this guy is one guy that has taken this team under his wing. Even with Pryor out and Wood out, this guy has continued to go out there and put games together. This guy is a big game pitcher, and really excited when he gets out there. He's going to be fun to watch tonight.
Here's how they support him defensively. Alou Patterson and Sosa left to right in the outfield. Barrett the catcher, Ramirez and Lee on the corners, with Gonzalez at short and Grudzielanek at second base.
Well, Grudzielanek is playing second base tonight simply because he swings the bat well against the Cardinals starting pitcher. But normally you'll have a switch back and forth with Walker at second base a little bit sometimes you have Grudzielanek.
Tony Womack taking the first pitch, and it's outside and low, ball one. We are underway on a night where the wind is probably not going to be a major factor early here at Wrigley Field, but check back a little bit later. Going out a little bit toward right and starting to pick up as Womack takes up high for a ball. Renteria up next. They count 3-0. Zambrano known to let his emotions get the better of him from time to time, and quickly walks Womack on 4 straight. So Tony Womack doing what he has been doing since he took over that leadoff spot for Tony La Russa, getting on base at a better rate than he did early in his career. He was really never noted for on-base percentage. By the way, St. Louis is 39-8 when they score the first run in a game. They have the best record when they score first of any team in baseball.
Well, this is not unusual for Zambrano to start out the game with runners on base. It takes him a little while to get that adrenaline animal under control, but when he gets it under control, look out.
Renteria showing bunt and taking a strike. First strike of the game offered up by Zambrano. He was a big fellow, 6'5", 255 pounds. He's 23 years old, from Venezuela. And we talked about how perfect he has been at Wrigley, 6-0 here. That, of course, in the friendly confines of a great old ballpark, noted for offense. Pitch inside, moving Renteria off the plate at 91 miles an hour.
Well, I can tell you this right now. You watched it throughout this ball game. We'll have some close-ups of Zambrano's face, and I can tell you this kid does not come out there to play games. He is there to take it to you from the first inning all the way to the last. He expects to be out there when the game is over.
The runner goes. Chopper to third, backing up Ramirez. No play at second, has to go to first for the out. So the Cardinals getting aggressive, a little run and hit. Womack safely into second base as Renteria is retired. Edgar Renteria 9 for 19 lifetime against Dusty Baker's starter.
Well, I think that you're going to see Tony La Russa do that more and more, especially against a guy like Zambrano, because he's got such a power sinker. He's throwing the ball 92, 93 miles an hour with that sinker boring in on these right-handed hitters. And I know that the Cardinals have a great lineup, but this guy that's standing on the mound, Carlos Zambrano, is a fantastic pitcher, and he is going to really try to make the ball keep the ball on the ground so his guys can catch the ball and turn those double plays.
Well, here's his first real test of the night, and that is Albert Pujols hitting .314, 24 homers, 65 runs batted in, not having the type of monster season that he had a year ago when he hit .359 with 43 homers, had 200 hits. He scored 137 runs, but he has set the standard for himself so high. He's only 24 years old as he takes a strike in the outside corner.
That's the pitch right there. For right-handers, it's very difficult to pull the trigger. The ball starts off the plate, runs back to the corner, and immediately in your mind you say, I've got to protect against that pitch, and then he throws you that 96-mile-an-hour fastball running in on your hands, and you've got nothing to do with it but just hope you can put the ball in play.
Scott Rowland to follow Albert Pujols, a runner at second. That's Tony Womack getting his lead. Now time asked for by Pujols. The Cardinals as offensive as any team around. .278, number 1 in the National League, second in runs, third in homers, second in slugging percentage. And the heart of their lineup, oh so dangerous, and Pujols anchors that. That one gets by Barrett, the catcher, all the way to the backstop, and so Womack can trot into third. And Barrett just missed it.
Well, that's a pass ball right there. That just shows you the late break on Zambrano's slider. That ball hits right off the webbing of his glove and allows Tony Womack to advance to third base.
So now all it will take is a fly ball for Albert Pujols, and he'll bring in his 66th RBI of the year. And the top RBI man in the game is right behind him. The Cardinals were a little bit concerned Pujols might not make it to the ballpark today in time for the ball game. So he takes outside. He attended his wife's grandmother's funeral in Kansas City this morning, and then had to get here to Chicago. Made it in plenty of time, but you never know with travel, especially in the Midwest this time of the year with thunderstorms and hard rains. But Pujols has shown up, and he's trying to drive in a run immediately. He takes outside for ball 4. So Zambrano a little bit wild here in the early going. He has walked 2 of the first 3. And he's starting to bid for some early trouble. Larry Rothschild, his outstanding pitching coach, has done a lot of work with Zambrano, who can be fiery. He can be temperamental. Youthful is the way they choose to describe it. But Rothschild has had a calming influence on Zambrano, who from time to time has pointed at teammates who've made mistakes during the course of the game. He's shown them up once in a while. He's not doing that anymore.
I don't have any problem with the adrenaline. I don't have any problem with the excitement of this young man when he's on the mound, but pointing at the other team and pointing at his teammates, he's got to cut that down. You can't be doing that, and I think he's learning that as time goes on. You've got to remember now, this is a young pitcher. He's just now finding some success, and he likes it, and there's a whole lot of Cubs fans that like it too.
Scott Rowland swinging at the first pitch and pops it back out of play. Rowland just having a tremendous year at .333, 19 homers, a major league best, 84 runs batted in, and playing the customary Gold Glove defense everyone's raved about for years. Tony La Russa says day in and day out, you cannot ask for more from a player than the Cardinals have gotten from Scott Rowland. He saves runs defensively, and he generates them with his bat. He was late on that pitch. Swung right through it. 0-2.
Well, this is a slider that starts right on the outside corner, and that's what I'm talking about. These right-handers having difficulty with the ball away. Fastball running back to the corner, slider running away from the corner.
K-Zone with us throughout the night here on Monday Night Baseball and every week. The fastball just outside. Zambrano showing some of that fire as he went stomping off the mound a little bit. He wanted that strike.
Well, you can see this pitch finishes just a little bit off the plate away. A little bit more run to the corner, and he's got strike 3.
Runners leading at first and third, and the pitch missing badly there. 2-2. Rowland has had his problems with Zambrano, just 4 for 22 against him. And as you see, Scott Rowland has been magic with men in scoring position all spring and summer long at .424.
The reason that Rowland has been good with runners in scoring position is he's not trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's just trying to put the ball in play.
2-2 is high. Remember, Rowland was in the hole. Now he's run it full. Jim Edmonds up next. Such a key series, although oh so short for the Chicago Cubs. If they win them both, they pull to within 6 of the front running Cardinals. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Tap foul, and another pitch coming for Rowland. Now on the season, St. Louis leads the Cubs 9-8. So here in 2004, Dusty Baker's been involved in a lot of close games with La Russa's team.
Well, we saw Tony Womack running earlier in this ball game, and we just saw Albert Pujols running on a 3-2 count with 1 out. That just shows you how much Tony La Russa wants to stay out of that double play.
Check swing, strike 3. Runner is hung up. It's Pujols between first and second. Womack darting home, and the throw won't get him. He's safe, and Pujols is back in at first base. So the Cubs botched that one. They did not get an out on either corner, even though Pujols was clearly hung up big time between first and second.
Well, Grzelcyk has a choice to make right here. You've got to make Tony Womack commit to home plate before you make that throw back, and he did not do that. Womack was not far enough off the bag. You've got to have an out in that situation. You get a strikeout with Rolen, and you've got to get another out. You had one of the other guys. Either you had Pujols at first base, or you've got Womack at second or at third base. Somebody's got to get an out right there.
You know, I don't understand the necessity to throw to third at all. Because once you get Pujols and he's slow and he's in a rundown, the inning's over.
The speed is what scares you of Tony Womack, and that's the one thing that made Grzelcyk make that throw.
Edmonds gets drilled by the pitch. And that's going to load up the bases. Jim Edmonds takes one. So Zambrano all over the place here in the first inning. 2 walks and a hit batsman, and here comes the man to try and soothe him a little bit, Larry Rothschild.
Point you have to choose your poison. You're either going to face Jim Edmonds or you're going to face Ray Langford, one or the other. You got 2 outs, all you need's 1. I know who I'd rather face right now, and it ain't the guy that's at first base.
Well, the Cardinals with a man at every base. Ray Langford to dig in, the left fielder, hitting .265 with 5 homers. Zambrano has already thrown 20 pitches in the inning, and not many in the strike zone. Although he did strike out Scott Rolen. Langford takes the first pitch right down the chute for strike 1.
See, that's what I'm saying. When Zambrano wants to throw the ball and he's got that concentration, he can hit spots on both sides of the plate.
Well, the Cubs botching a rundown, did not get a single out on the play. Let's see if it haunts them. Filed away by Langford. Zambrano with the upper hand now. It's 0-2. He's 1 strike away from getting out of a bases loaded 2-out situation. And Cubs fans sensing the importance of taking game 1 here tonight. Zambrano's pitch is up high.
Watching that pitch that he threw to Jim Edmonds, Dave, I've got to believe, and I know that there's 2 outs and there's a runner at third base. There's a chance for that ball to be wild, but in my mind, that ball was thrown in there at his leg on purpose. That ball was straight as a string right at his right hip, excuse me.
Is set the 1-2 pitch. Check swing out in front of the plate. Fair ball. Barrett with it. Guns to first in time.
Well, it worked.
Zambrano gets out of it. Despite 2 walks and a hit batsman, on purpose or not, it's 0-0. Dusty Baker only now exhaling after an inning that nearly went completely nuts on his starting pitcher, Zambrano. Give you a look at his starting lineup, brought to you by Genworth Financial. Mark Grzelcyk leads off at second. Corey Patterson in center. Sammy Sosa in right field. Moises Salou has really cooled off here in the month of July. Derek Lee has not, though. Look what he has done against St. Louis this season. .443 with 4 home runs. Ramirez at third. Michael Barrett does the catching. Gonzalez at short. And Zambrano swings a pretty good bat up against the right-hander Chris Carpenter. He's 9-4 and trying to beat the Cubs for the 4th time this season.
How about Carpenter? It hasn't really pitched in the last couple of years. Signed by Walt Jocketty, and now he's right back out there. And I know that Walt Jocketty took a tremendous amount of heat last year because Chris Carpenter could not pitch at all, and now he's come out and he's been virtually probably the best pitcher that they've had out there day in and day out.
They'll be facing Grzelcyk first, the second baseman in, and the first pitch misses high for ball 1. Carpenter already has taken 1 shot at 4 wins over Chicago. Unlike the previous 3, it was disastrous. Bounding ball to the middle, but Womack with a backhand. 1 up and 1 down. Defensively now for St. Louis, an awfully good club. Langford, Edmonds, and Sanders in the outfield. Jim Edmonds, of course, a 6-time Gold Glover. Rolen is magic at third. Renteria likewise at short. Womack and Pujols on the right side. Matheny does the catching. And Pujols playing another position. I mean, 3 different positions for the All-Star. This one he settled in very nicely.
Well, he has, and it takes a lot of time to settle in at first base after you've been out in the outfield for quite some time. And I think he's done a tremendous job, especially in the National League, because you've got to learn to handle the bunch. You've got to learn to handle picks and different plays that you've got going on. And you've also got to learn to catch a ground ball, turn to your right, and make a correct throw to second base for the double play.
Swing flared on a left field line. That's going to drop in for a hit. Langford giving chase. And he bobbles it out there, racing into second. Patterson now heading for third. Here's the throw. Not going to get him. He really took advantage of Langford's mistake down the left field line, and he winds up with 3 bases. Patterson flying, roaring around second base when he saw Langford bobble it.
Well, anytime a ball is inside and you cut inside of it as a left-handed batter, the ball is going to hit the ground and take some funky spin, and you see that ball bounce away from Langford right as he starts to pick it up to get ready to throw the ball into second base. Trying to hold him at first base, ends up bobbling it and giving up not only second but third also.
Sosa digging in and taking down and in for ball 1. Dusty Baker made the comment about a week ago. He said, we have not hit our stride yet as a ball club. We have not played our best baseball yet. I think that is still to come. We'll see if it begins tonight for the Cubs, 8 games back against their fiercest rivals, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Well, the pressure is going to mount as the season moves on for Sammy to continue a hot hitting streak as he has in years past. But as you see right here, the last thing that Chris Carpenter wants to do is leave a cookie over the plate for Sammy to hit out of the ballpark, and then it's 2-0. You got 1 out. You put Sammy on first base. You take your chances with Moises Alou, although I don't know that that's the smartest move at this point.
Sosa 4 out of 7 off Carpenter with a home run. Got a pitch to hit and fouled it away. Let's go back to July 11th. And Sammy Sosa in the batter's box facing Carpenter. And that's gone right now. In St. Louis and out of Busch Stadium. Sammy, who has only 17 home runs. A little trickler. The runner holding. Carpenter goes into first base with the toss, and Patterson cannot score. And Sammy hearing a little bit of the Boo Birds here in Chicago.
Well, anytime you're a superstar player and there are high expectations in a pennant race, especially when you're playing the Cardinals at home, if you don't do your job, you're going to hear about it.
Even Sammy.
Even Sammy. It doesn't matter who it is.
So Sosa, a big RBI man, can't bring in a run. Rolen, the biggest RBI man in the majors, couldn't do it in the first inning for St. Louis. Moises Alou here. He takes outside for a ball, hitting .273 with 20 home runs. Recently having returned from his 5th All-Star appearance. And he hits Carpenter pretty well, 5 out of 16. That's the .313 average.
This is the one time that you'll see Moises Alou try to hit the ball the other way. Most of the time he likes the ball from the middle of the plate in. He tries to get his hands extended, get those hips through the ball, and try to drive the ball out of the ballpark. But with an RBI situation, especially with 2 outs and a runner at third base, this is the one time that you'll see him take that fastball that's away or that breaking ball away and flare it into right field.
Carpenter's 1-1 pitch. Got him to wave, and he made Alou look bad on that swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, this is Alou guessing right here on a breaking ball. Ball's already in the mitt before he swings at it.
Alou in a 10 for 52 skid. He's had a cold month of July. Got fooled on that, but got enough of the bat on it to foul it away. And so the count remains 1-2. Corey Patterson at third, reaching on a double and then the error by Langford to get him the extra 90 feet. Now trying to come all the way home in support of Zambrano. With 2 out, runners in scoring position, Alou, and this has been the case throughout his career, a terrific clutch hitter. Outside with an off-speed pitch.
You know, Dave, believe it or not, there are some big league hitters that will take a swing at a pitch and purposely miss it, knowing that the hitter that the pitcher that's standing on the mound thinks that, well, I just threw that ball right by him. I might throw that pitch again later on in the count. And that hitter will sit right on it and hit it 9 miles.
In there for strike 3, and Alou caught looking. He fans and strands a runner at third base. Dusty Baker hopping mad at Tim Cheetah, the home plate umpire. Now in K zone, we'll see where it landed at the very bottom of the strike zone. That was in there, Dusty.
Who brings you the most power-packed summer vacation? Universal Orlando Resort and Radio Shack. And now your family can register to win one of 35 action-packed Universal Power Trips for 4 at Radio Shack. Now let Radio Shack help you stay connected to friends and family with this Samsung A650 color screen flip phone from Verizon Wireless on sale for $19.99 with 2-year agreement. With a deal like this, you can get one for every member of your family. Visit universalpowertrip.com or register at Radio Shack.
You know what I want? I want a credit card that's more than plastic. Give me magic.
Get Disney's Visa credit card only from Bank One.
I want rewards like Lion King DVDs, dinner with Cinderella, a Disney cruise vacation. I want rewards she can enjoy now while she's 6, not 36.
The only card that earns you magical rewards.
I don't want to hear about blackout dates and annual fees. That's not magic.
Get the magical rewards card from the Bank One card collection. Apply now.
I want a little magic.
Sorry about that. You all right?
Yeah.
An accident isn't your best moment. But at State Farm, we'd like to think it's ours. In fact, according to J.D. Power and Associates, customers rated us higher than any other insurance company for collision repair satisfaction.
Yeah, everything's fine. I talked to State Farm.
We know this isn't your best moment, but it's a moment you'll be glad you have a State Farm agent. So call us today.
To cure athlete's foot, you've got to be fast on your feet. And nothing lets you treat faster than Lamisil AT. Lamisil AT cures athlete's foot with just 1 week's use. Not even a prescription can beat that. If you use Tinactin or Lotrimin AF, you'll be treating for 4 long weeks.
Who's going to do that?
When your feet itch and burn, using Lamisil AT 1 week is proven to kill the fungus and keep you athlete's foot free for 3 months. Lamisil AT. There's no better way to cure athlete's foot.
Well, the Cardinals and the Cubs with scoring chances in their first inning, and they miss on both as we go to the top half of the second inning. And I think that's a Cub fan who wants to know why that was called a strike on Moises Alou. Although K-Zone showed us vividly, and Dusty Baker doesn't have that technology right there inside his dugout, but it looked like Joe Brinkman certainly got the call right at the very bottom of the strike zone. Although Moises doesn't want to hear that right now.
Neither does Dusty.
So for the St. Louis Cardinals, a line shot up the middle and a single for Reggie Sanders. That's a hit they needed in the first inning and did not get when they loaded the bases and did not score. Sanders is 1 for 1. Moises Alou frozen in the box on the pitch by Chris Carpenter, who made a money pitch.
That pitch is right at the bottom of the strike zone. With 2 strikes, you got to foul that pitch off. It's a pitcher's pitch.
So man on, and the batter Mike Matheny, the catcher, hitting .264 with 2 home runs. He drove in 3 runs Sunday in a 10-4 St. Louis rout of the Reds in Ohio. We'll see if Zambrano has pulled things together a little bit. It was almost a disastrous first. He walked the leadoff man. That was Tony Womack. After an out on a ground ball, he walked Pujols. He struck out Scott Rowland. And then he drilled Jim Edmonds with a pitch directly at his right thigh before getting out of the inning on a little tapper on a check swing. It was handled by the catcher. Chopped the other way. Reds Atlantic to Gonzalez. 1 on to Lee 2. 4-6-3 in a double play. So 2 down. Let's go to the studio for an update. We check in for the first time tonight with Trey Wingo.
Good evening, Dave. Good evening, Jeff. Let's check in on the other Chicago team. White Sox playing the Rangers, and that's Carlos Lee taking advantage of that pitch. His 13th, 2-0 White Sox. Meanwhile, checking in on the Dodgers and Astros, and congratulations, Adrian Beltre, a career high for homers in a season already. His 24th, a moonshot up Duckworth. 1-0 Dodgers. Dave and Jeff, back to you.
Trey, thank you very much. More updates throughout the night with our man in the studio, Trey, and Beltre in a walk year. Be a free agent at the end of the season. What a time to have a career year if you're Adrian Beltre.
Well, he has definitely put it together from day one in Los Angeles.
Carpenter swings and misses. Zambrano looking like he can't wait to race into that dugout. Carpenter has to stand out of the box Zambrano is working so fast to try and dispatch him with a strikeout here. On the corner, that's exactly what he does. Strike 3 looking. Second K in the book tonight for Carlos Zambrano, bidding for his 10th win of the season, but looking for some run support in the second inning.
This bolt is 4.5 inches long, made from hardened alloy steel. 6 of them connect the cargo box of the Ford F-150 to its frame. Why do we do this when others don't? Because we're building the strongest pickup. You can be sure of that. We are. Only one truck earned the right to be the next Ford F-150.
Okay, we'd like you to try 2 frozen lattes. One is from a national chain of coffee shops, and the other is new from Dairy Queen.
This one's fantastic.
Looks like you chose the new DQ Latte. Great. Okay, you can give it back now. Test it over, let it go.
The new DQ Mulate frozen blended coffee, made with creamy DQ soft serve in 3 tempting flavors. Grab one and DQ something different.
Likes it a lot.
We have always had a gentle understanding with the creatures who live beyond our borders.
There are marks on the door.
From writer-director M. Night Shyamalan.
I feel they were warning us.
Never enter the woods. That is where they wait.
Village, rated PG-13, starts July 30th.
If you want to update your home without lifting a finger, you can. Through the Home Depot, licensed experts can install siding, roofing, even garage doors. License numbers available at your local store. And right now, get no payments, no interest for 12 months on any installed Clopay Coachman garage door. A Home Depot exclusive. Just use your Home Depot consumer credit card. Trust your installation to the one place with the know-how to get it done right. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
What can the middle of nowhere teach us about financial advisors?
Let's trim it down.
With the right guide, you can find rewards in any environment. Wachovia Securities. Talk to us. Together we can achieve uncommon results.
Bottom of the second inning coming your way, Wrigley Field, 0-0. And our third man on the show tonight down on the field is Gary Miller. Gary?
Dave, a lot of people thought Chris Carpenter should have been an all-star. Somebody wondered why the Cardinals signed him in December 2002 when he had a bad shoulder, didn't pitch at all last year. Had a magnificent outing in spring, had command of all 5 pitches, and then his arm almost fell off. Well, he stayed. He got offers from other teams, even his home area Red Sox. But he felt loyal to the Cardinals, and he has really paid off in keeping him on this team as he goes for his 10th win tonight.
Boy, he sure has. A .387 earned run average, dealing to Derek Lee, who lifts a high fly into left. Edmonds coming over, and he will make the catch in left center field. For out number 1, Aramis Ramirez coming up next. And Carpenter grew up a Red Sox fan along the New Hampshire seacoast in Exeter, New Hampshire, less than an hour from Fenway Park. 6'6", 220 pounds, tonight pitching in another great baseball landmark, Wrigley Field. We see a whole lot of St. Louis Cardinal red in this crowd, as you always do for this series between these rivals. Less than 300 miles separating the city.
And it's the same way when you come to St. Louis. You see a whole lot of blue and white.
Sure. Ramirez hitting .323 in an excellent year, 15 homers, 56 RBIs. Sort of been a running joke over the decades about Cub third baseman and how many will they use in a given year. They appear to have found their man here in Aramis Ramirez for a long time to come.
Well, he's definitely a guy that has been electric for them.
Grounds that one to short, running a little bit painful for him as Renteria throws him out because he missed 9 games starting when he came out of the ball game on July 2nd because of a strained left groin.
And if you think about it, Dave, as soon as he left the lineup, this club really started struggling offensively.
Really struggling, just trying to make it home there. Got some training help as he got into the dugout. He grounded out to short for the second out of the inning. That brings up Michael Barrett. Hitting .289. He's hit 10 home runs, so a little bit of power from the Chicago receiver. Fouls that one off his foot. Now, the last time Carpenter faced the Chicago Cubs, he was trying to beat them, as mentioned, for the 4th time this year. But it did not go well. It was just before the All-Star break. He actually struck out the first 5 batters that he faced with a wicked curveball on that night. And then the Cubs adjusted to it, and he got belted around. He gave up 9 hits and 6 runs. He was gone after 3 2/3 innings. And one ripped into left field for a base hit. A second hit tonight off Carpenter.
Well, that was the one thing I was asking Walt Jocketty and Tony La Russa before the ball game, because just about the longevity of Chris Carpenter. He has not pitched this many innings in a long time. How far can this guy go, and how do you know where he's going to be when we get to the end of August or the middle of September, when you may need him the most? And both of them said we're going to protect him as much as we can with the bullpen, as far as we can.
Alex Gonzalez takes a strike. Of course, Carpenter did not pitch at all at the major league level in 2003 following shoulder surgery in 2002. A bad shoulder ended your career. So it brings up the obvious question: how long can a guy go late in the season, so soon back from a big shoulder operation? Womack throws on to Pujols, and we'll continue to talk about that throughout the night, because Jeff Brantley knows a thing or two about shoulders. So does Carpenter. His looks good tonight. 0-0.
Assurance in rain means Goodyear's deeply carved aqua chutes propel water away from your tread. Assurance on ice means Goodyear's interlocking treads deliver gripping power. Assurance on dry pavement means Goodyear's reinforced shoulders give you confident maneuvering. The revolutionary new Goodyear Assurance with triple tread technology for assurance in any weather on the wings of Goodyear.
Glenn's the man going to work. Got his tie, got ambition. He knows one day he just could become supervisor.
Starbucks double shot espresso drink. Bring on the day.
Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm sorry I was blind, but you were always on my mind. You were always on my mind.
It was a tragedy, really. Their father told one of his stories too many times, and the boys, well, they just got bored to death. Literally.
Boring your family to death? Then watch The Tech Effect. Tonight at 9 on the History Channel.
We have reinvented the wheel, reconsidered every part and every system. We have reimagined man's interface with machine by fusing 250 turbocharged horses with a symmetrical all-wheel drive system to create a vehicle that's truly revolutionary. The remarkably powerful, beautifully redesigned Subaru Legacy.
That ought to get your wheels turning.
Right now, lease the all-new Subaru Legacy for just $299 a month. See your Subaru dealer for details.
ESPN's Monday Night Baseball, brought to you by Cooper Tires. Confidence, performance, mileage. Don't give up a thing.
Top of the third inning, and the fast-working Carlos Zambrano delivers a strike to make it 1-1 on the leadoff man, Tony Womack. He started the evening by walking. He advanced to second on a pass ball, but eventually was stranded at third base. And in fact, St. Louis loaded up the bases in the opening frame. Zambrano in that first inning labored to throw 24 pitches. That one ripped into left center field, backing up Patterson. He's there to make the long-running catch. One man out in the third. Well, Wednesday on ESPN's day game at 2:15, the Reds and Cubs look to stay in the Central Division race. at 7 Eastern on ESPN. The Angels take on Texas in Arlington. This game also available in high definition. And at 10 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2, it's the Padres and the Giants. That game also available in Spanish on ESPN Deportes. Jeff Brantley, Dave O'Brien, and Gary Miller with you from Wrigley Field in Chicago. No score, third inning. Edgar Renteria's second trip against a pitcher he has banged around in his career.
So far tonight, I have seen Brinkman call a lot of low pitches down in the strike zone, and that really benefits a pitcher like Zambrano.
Renteria rolls that one to Greg Zelenik. 2 up, 2 down. So Renteria, who started the night 9 for 18 against the right-hander, is now 0 for 2. Right in front of Albert Pujols.
Tell you, Dave, if Zambrano knows he's going to get those pitches down in the strike zone, he is going to stay down there all day long. He's going to throw nothing in, and all he's throwing is fastballs, sinkers down in the strike zone. Let them beat it down into the ground and let your infield catch the ball.
Zambrano's pitch is up high. He gets the ball and he throws it. In fact, I'm not even sure it's in his glove for a second half the time. He is the definition of quick working.
I think in my mind, that's the kind of, if you have command of the strike zone and you feel good about what you're going to throw, you work fast, you work quick, your guys make better plays behind you.
And it's across the outside corner for a call. Strike at 97 miles an hour.
And the thing about it is you don't give the hitter a chance to think about, well, am I going to try to do this with the ball? Am I going to do that? I mean, he just got to react.
Or step out and cause him to slow down a little bit. He threw that one right by everybody. Well, at times, Zambrano has no-hit stuff. In fact, in August of last year at Arizona, he took a no-hitter into the bottom of the 8th inning. He got the first 2 men out before Shea Hillenbrand legged out an infield hit to end the no-hit bid. Chopper high. Greg Zelenik throws to Lee. And again, a very quick inning for Carlos Zambrano. After a rough first, he is breezing over the last 2. 0-0.
No. Yes, I'd like to redeem my credit card miles. Flight to Denver.
No.
LA?
No.
Fresno?
Where?
Fresno?
I'll fly out Wednesday. That's gonna be a no.
Thursday?
All blacked out.
I'll take the red eye.
No.
No.
No. No. How about Friday?
Sure.
No.
Go from no to no hassle with Capital One No Hassle Rewards. Fly any airline, anytime, with no blackout dates. Capital One No Hassle Rewards.
I'm calling Capital One.
No. Hey, what's in your wallet?
Must have been at about 40,000 feet.
From J.J. Abrams, creator of Alias, 48 survivors,
Get her out of there!
1,000 miles off course.
You're gonna be okay.
They survived the worst.
What was that?
Did anybody say that?
Or did they? Lost, ABC Wednesdays this fall.
Guys, where are we?
Fact. Scientists now know there are 3 major causes of male hair loss. Fact. The newly patented Follicare hair growth and restoration system is the first product that fights all 3 of these hair killers. Fact. In testing by an independent lab, 100% of men using Follicare grew new hair in just 8 weeks. That's right, 100% of men grew new hair, and you will too. We guarantee it.
I was going bald. Then I started to use Follicare, and there's a lot more hair there in a very short period of time. It's a great product.
Follicare was developed by Dr. Chris Catalfo, who at 28 years old was rapidly going bald. Desperate, Dr. Catalfo attacked all the reasons for his hair loss at once, and now has a full head of hair. You too will grow hair with the patented Follicare system. We guarantee it or your money back.
You can fight hair loss, and Follicare guarantees it. Unlike other products, Follicare costs as little as $1 a day. Call 1-800-434-7441 to order now. Follicare is easy, it's patented, and it works. Don't wait. Call 1-800-434-7441 or visit follicare.com and get started today.
Trey, we can go here due to time constraints. We have to move ahead now in the game between the Cards and the Cubs, and the Cards may never want the month of July to end. They came into this one at Wrigley having gone 11-2 in the month of July. More of the game now. Dave O'Brien and Jeff Brantley have the call. Enjoy.
Top of the 4th inning, and that's civility for you. Wrigley Field, Cubs and Cardinal fans sitting together enjoying the ball game. Both sides looking for a run.
I bet they'll be elbowing each other earlier.
Just maybe
later.
A little bit later. If it gets a little more tense. Well, they're already beginning to exchange sarcastic barbs at each other. A little bit outside on Scott Rowland. He struck out in the 1st inning. He did so with 2 men on base. Has not left many on base this year with 84 runs batted in. #1 in the majors. Bounds that ball fair from foul territory. Ramirez a high throw, and he tossed it into the stands. So Rolen will be given second base. Ramirez misfires. He made a fine play along the line, but then a bad throw.
You see right where he catches the ball, right on the line. He sets his feet. He just doesn't get the ball down. Derek Lee's tall, but he ain't that tall.
It'll be a base hit, as it should be, because even with the throw, I'm not sure he has any chance at Rolen. We've been very close, but the error moves Rolen into scoring position. The E5, and that'll bring up Jim Edmonds. Now, Edmonds was hit by a pitch in the first inning. He hits back here. Deep drive, right field, and gone right now. Sailing it out of here. Zambrano kind of glaring at Edmonds as he rounds the bases. A 2-run homer for the Cardinals center fielder. He smashed it out of here to put St. Louis in front.
Hi, I'm Tuesday, most ignored day of the week. Hey kids, you want to play?
No thanks.
Friday's here! Friday. But now, that's all gonna change. Domino's is making me the most fun day of the week.
Now, Tuesday is special. Domino's is offering 2 pizzas for the price of 1.
I feel like a brand new day!
Get the door. It's Domino's 2 times Tuesday. It's 2 times Tuesday at Domino's. Buy any large pizza at regular menu price and get a second pizza of equal or lesser value free on Tuesdays. That's 2 pizzas for the price of 1 Tuesdays only at Domino's.
You've been waiting all year for this moment to arrive. The one and only clearance at your Lincoln Mercury dealer. A short time when you can get the best savings of the year on every Lincoln and Mercury, including Navigator, the midsize Aviator, and the versatile Mountaineer. Get 0% APR or up to $4,500 cash back, plus $500 Ford credit cash on Lincoln Mercury SUVs. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer now for best selection.
You know, America's a beautiful land of freedom, where the woodchucks can chuck and the deer can do whatever it is that deer like to do. And in this great land, we are as free as nature's creatures to choose an internet service provider and to save money. So why not choose Net Zero? Unlimited internet for only $9.95, or surf the web up to 5 times faster for just $5 more. I'm Candidate Zero, and I believe in access for all.
So do you know what I said?
To the bank guy?
Yeah. I said I wanted free checking with no minimum balance, plus free online bill paying. Plus I want lots of your ATMs so we don't have to worry about those fees. Because I don't think we should have to pay for any of it. And do you know what he said?
Goodbye.
He said, we don't think you should pay for it either.
Oh. Free checking with no minimum balance. Plus, plus, plus. From Bank of America. Higher standards.
You know, ideas and inventions come from people in all walks of life. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? If so, Invention Submission Corporation has information to help you get started. ISC is America's largest inventor service firm. Call now and learn how to submit your idea to companies through ISC's data bank and apply for a patent. Even if your idea is just to improve an existing product, call for ISC's free information.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-554-9000.
Trey, we can go here due to time constraints. We have to move ahead now in the game between the Cards and the Cubs, and the Cards may never want the month of July to end. They came into this one at Wrigley having gone 11-2 in the month of July. More of the game now. Dave O'Brien and Jeff Brantley have the call. Enjoy.
That's JT Snow. If he scores, we are dead even.
Nothing surprises me now.
Loop shot into left. Here comes Conine. He can't get it. He's throwing home. Snow trying to score. The tag. A collision. He is out at home. And the Florida Marlins have cut down the Giants. The upset of the 2003 postseason. Each Sunday we continue to count down towards moment number 1. You can catch number 7 next Sunday when the Yankees and Red Sox meet in Sunday Night Baseball, presented by McDonald's. Monday Night Baseball here in Chicago. 2-0 St. Louis. And happy to have you along as Carpenter floats that one down the right field line, and a foul ball just a foot or two off the chalk. Otherwise Chris Carpenter has himself at least a single. Pitching tonight, he is 0 for 1 at the plate. On the mound, he has been shutout worthy. This one just foul.
This is why you want to keep the ball down when you're facing a pitcher, because if they get the bat out there at all and get any kind of bat to it, you flare that thing out there behind the first baseman. That's in no man's land.
Carpenter came in hitting 135. And if he gets around on one at his size, he's a big fella at 6'6", 220 pounds. He could knock it right over that left field fence. He fouls that one away. On deck, Tony Womack, and then Edgar Renteria for St. Louis. We are quickly getting to the midway point of this game. And Zambrano, I mean, when he goes out there to warm up, he doesn't wait for his teammates to join him as he strikes out Carpenter. He gets out there and practically has his warm-up tosses completed by the time his center fielder Patterson is reaching his position. And Patterson hasn't even warmed up yet. I mean, this is a guy who just wants to get the baseball and pitch.
That's what you want. You want a guy out there that works quick, gets the ball, and gets ready to go.
Zambrano 16-7 since last year's All-Star break. Facing Womack and missing inside for ball one. He's walked him, and there's also been a line out to center by Tony, who did not start Sunday in their game against the Reds. He was just 1 for 14 in his previous 3 games, but otherwise he's been a very pleasant surprise for La Russa as the leadoff man, the top of the order guy, and the table setter for their offense.
Well, that first pitch that Zambrano threw looked like a strike to me on the inside corner to Tony Womack.
The 2-0 pitch in there as Womack was backing away.
Womack was trying to call timeout, but with Zambrano in the middle of his windup, Brinkman didn't give it to him.
The 2-1. Fly ball center field. Patterson backing up with room. It carries a little bit, but he makes the catch. The wind took it some. If it gets airborne, it could be trouble. That was certainly the case with Jim Edmonds' long fly. And out of Wrigley Field, a 2-run shot in the 4th inning. You talk about stepping out on a guy like Carlos Zambrano, who's such a fast worker. Is that effective in slowing him down, getting him out of rhythm?
Well, I think it is effective in getting him out of his rhythm, but you're taking your life in your own hands when you step out of the box against this guy, because you don't know what he's going to do. He might hit you right in the head.
Well, he's already hit Jim Edmonds right in the thigh, but that was before he hit the home run. Usually it's the reverse.
I definitely do not think that we are done with the players running out onto the field. I think this game could get ugly before we're done.
Wouldn't be the first time in this series, which goes back 112 years. The first time the Cardinals and Cubs played was in 1892. And yet you're talking about a century plus of baseball, and only 54 games separate these two sides, as the Cubs hold the all-time series advantage, but by just 54 wins.
I know in the season that I played for the St. Louis Cardinals in 1998, when Sammy and Mark McGwire were going after the record of 61, if you came anywhere close to either one of those guys, everybody was coming on the field.
Yeah, but that was the summer of love in this series. I mean, because you had such two guys that everybody was enjoying so much following the home run chase of Roger Maris, and Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa were a couple of big teddy bears. Swing fly ball center field by Renteria, backing up Patterson all the way to the wall. That one is gone. Home run for Edgar Renteria. That may have been wind aided, but it's the second home run of the ball game off Zambrano. Renteria, number 8 for him. And he is now 10 for 21 in his career against Zambrano.
Well, that ball normally in this ballpark is either caught by Patterson in center field or it's off the wall. That ball is not usually a home run, but he did tag it right off the good sweet part of the bat, hits a line drive to dead central, and that wind just carries it right into the basket.
So home runs in consecutive innings by St. Louis, and they bolster the lead to 3-0. The All-Star Renteria gets a hold of the All-Star Zambrano. And here's Albert Pujols. He has walked and grounded out tonight. Renteria, one of 3 Cardinal infielders voted to the National League All-Star squad. It's the first time since 1963 3 infielders from the same team have been voted in. Sosa to make the catch. The side is retired, but a home run by Renteria. Pretty good shortstop. On the topic of good shortstops, one of the greatest ever, Ozzie Smith will be joining Gary Miller when we come back.
X Games 10, live nightly at 9, August 5th through the 7th on ESPN.
Every piece has its purpose. The Element from Honda.
Today, you're a super painter with the amazing Wagner Wide Shot Power Painter. Fast and neat. It lets you paint up to 12 inches wide in one pass. The Power Painter. One of the ways Wagner gives you more power, because there's always something that needs painting. Wagner. Paint fast. Paint smart.
You're driving along. A car pulls in front of you. Another pulls alongside. When the guy up front stops short, you rear-end him, just like he wanted. It's called a swoop and squat. And fraud like this can add hundreds of dollars a year to your insurance bills. It's why Allstate has a dedicated fraud team to track down criminals. Fighting fraud helps keep your insurance affordable.
Bottom 5, St. Louis playing long ball tonight, has a 3-0 lead on Chicago and Sammy Sosa. Sammy has been quiet, 0 for 2. This is Michael Barrett leading off the inning. Then Alex Gonzalez and Carlos Zambrano. As Chris Carpenter works to go to 10-4. It's been a pretty remarkable comeback tale after not pitching a single inning in the major leagues last year. The pitch missing outside. Big guy, 6'6", with a fastball, a 4-seamer, a 2-seamer, a curve, and a circle change. And this year he has mixed them beautifully. He's always had a marvelous arm. The 29-year-old delivers. Way out in front was Barrett. He swings and misses. Matheny completes the strikeout. Barrett is gone. Gary Miller now the special guest. We are off to see the Wizard.
All right, Dave and Jeff. Ozzie Smith knows an awful lot about Cubs Cardinals. How special is this series, Ozzie? You were in it for so long as a rivalry.
Well, as you see, you know, I know people who have well, they sleep in different rooms, but Cardinal and Cub fans in the same house, you know. So it's always been a great rivalry, but it's also been a very friendly rivalry as well.
Friendly? Did you see what happened between Zambrano and Edmonds?
Yeah, I did see that, but we didn't have much of that when I played. I don't know what the deal was there, but evidently there's some bad blood.
Alex Gonzalez with a double down into the corner, dug out by Langford. And that coming with one down, a 2-base hit for Alex Gonzalez. We go back to Gary and Ozzie Smith.
Ozzie, we've talked about how far back this thing goes back to the Stone Age these two teams played, and you were there for a lot of it. What's your favorite memory of the Cubs Cardinals over the years?
Well, it's always being able to come here. You know, if I had to pick one, it had to be the day that Willie McGee was given he hit for the cycle, and he was given the outstanding player of the game, and Ryan Sandberg come back and hit 2 home runs off Bruce Sutter. So you don't forget games like that. That was
funny you should mention that game. We have of all the games we picked to have on tape, we've got that game on tape. So even being on the losing end of that game, it's still your most memorable?
Yeah, it was an exciting game to watch, you know, because here was Willie who hit for the cycle, which you don't get a chance to see a whole lot. He hits for the cycle, and then Ryan Sandberg comes up and tops that.
Well, here's a look at it, June 23rd, 1984. And Rhino off of Sutter in the 11th inning. So 2 big blasts there, and Gary, as you say, Ozzie was there to see it.
We just showed Sandberg's 2 home runs off Sutter, of all people, in a remarkable game. Ozzie, you set a different kind of standard for shortstops. Obviously, Edgar Renteria is a big key for them in the offseason. He's going to be a free agent. How much does he mean to this team?
Well, I mean, he's one of the key components. You know, people were talking about earlier on in the year, they didn't pick the Cardinals to win, and I think that really did them a favor by not picking them to win, because the core of this team with Pujols, Renteria, Edmonds, and Roland at third base, it's the same team that's been picked to win the division the last 5 years. The only real question mark they had, I felt, coming into the season was whether or not this guy, Chris Carpenter, was going to be healthy. And I think he's proven that he's healthy. He's one of the main reasons that they have such a big lead right now. And with the way that they play defense and hit the ball, you knew they were going to be right in there.
Figures we sit down with Ozzie and Carpenter gives up that sac fly, and they've got to rally. We've got one last thought before the Cubs break this thing open and get right back in it, Ozzie. You're here for Dan and Strikeout Hunger program. How's that going?
It's going well. I've been to a couple minor league ballparks on this particular trip, and I went to Beatrice Caffrey House today to visit with some kids. And it's an epidemic that's going on in this country that has really been kind of under the radar for a lot of people. The Cubs rally here a little bit. I teamed with Dannon and America's Second Harvest to try and bring about the awareness of how important it is to try and help some of these kids who at this time of year don't know where their next meal is coming from.
Okay, Ozzie. Well, unfortunately, we picked a huge inning for the Cubs here. Best of luck with the program. Always good to visit with you. Dave?
All right, Ozzie, thank you so much for the message. Chris Carpenter, trouble here in the 5th inning. He struck out Barrett. Gonzalez doubled. Zambrano singled off of Roland's glove after the sac fly to bring in a run. Patterson has just singled. And here's Sammy Sosa. A wave and a miss for strike one.
Well, these are the kind of situations that we talked about at the beginning of the ball game. A 2-out home run right here would be absolutely huge, not only for the Cubs in the bench, but for the confidence of Sammy Sosa. This is a type of hit early in the ball game that he has got to produce. That's why they pay you the big bucks.
Well, Sammy grounded out with a runner at third in the 1st inning. That's a strike. Pinned to the outside corner. He has a beef with Joe Brinkman. 0-2. Let's check out K-zone to see where it landed.
Well, that pitch is it may be just a little bit outside of the K-zone box, but that's a strike.
1st and 2nd. Chicago trying to rally. They have a run on the board, 3-1 St. Louis. He goes the other way, base hit. And the bases are going to be loaded up here for the Chicago Cubs. With 2 down, Sosa singles. Moises Alou about to dig in.
That is a great job of hitting by Sammy Sosa right there. Instead of trying to juice the ball out of the ballpark, what he's trying to do, 2 strikes, he knows he's going to get a ball away. He just tries to drive it into that first, second base hole. That is a great job of hitting. Now knowing that Moises Alou stands at the plate. Here comes Dave Duncan out. We've got some action right here, boys and girls.
Alou 0 for 2 in the ball game. He has been struck out looking and grounded out. But he's been exceptional with men in scoring position. Now we go back to the at-bat of Sammy Sosa, hitting with 2 men out.
Well, you see the slider that he swings at, same slider right on the outside corner. That is too close of a pitch from Chris Carpenter, especially against the caliber of a hitter that Sammy Sosa is with 2 strikes. If you're going to throw that pitch, you've got to get the ball in first, then you go back out there again. You made him look terrible on 2 breaking balls, and then you give him a fastball for a strike to hit? Come on.
Alou with 20 home runs. Fouls the first one away for strike one. He's hit 16 of those home runs here at Wrigley Field.
Now you watch Moises Alou, especially early in the count. He's looking for a fastball middle in that he can hit out of the ballpark. Once he gets 2 strikes, he goes into a different mode and tries to flip the ball the other way. But early in the count, until he gets 2 strikes, he's trying to get a ball middle in that he can hit way out of here.
Carpenter's pitch over but low. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Cubs have them all filled up here, down by 2 in the 5th. It's the first sign Carpenter may be starting to lose some of his early inning effectiveness. Lofted toward right center, out racing Womack. It drops in for a hit. 2 runs will score for Chicago. Alou comes through, and this ball game is tied. Moises Alou with RBIs 52 and 53. Sosa racing into 3rd on a 2-run single by Alou.
Carpenter gets this ball up and over the plate, and Moises Alou just gets his hands just inside of it, fists the ball right over Tony Womack at second base, and brings in 2 runs.
So Moises Alou trying to heat up. It's been a chilly July so far. Here's Derek Lee, and a routine ground ball to short. The second for the Force. The side is retired. But a big rally inning for the Cubs. They scored 3. Alou at the biggest hit of all, and it's tied up at the end of 5.
What is it with piercings nowadays? The other day I saw a guy with more metal on his face than I have on my grill. I mean, a wallet chain is for your pants, not connecting your lip to your ear. Anyway, I say give the whole piercing thing a rest, especially when you're serving up a plump, juicy ballpark grill master. Use tongs, not a fork, because the only thing that should ever pierce a big, meaty dog like this is your teeth.
New Ballpark Grill Master Franks, now in 4 hearty flavors. Be big, be meaty, be frank.
We talk on the phone so many times.
She gets freaked out if I go like an hour without calling. When you get to a dorm room, you're just like, I don't have anything to put in here.
We make a list of what we need, and then we go to Walmart.
New towels, clock, shower curtains.
Gorgeous. I think you ought to take this one.
I'm in there at least once a week buying something for my room. And when I don't get at Walmart, I'll go to walmart.com and have it sent to me. I love being a college student. It's hard at times, but I like it.
I tell her it's the best years of her life.
I hope so.
Your frozen favorites. Sonic's got them, others don't. Nobody does desserts like Sonic. Drive in tonight and get any of your favorite desserts. We'll be open till at least midnight all summer long.
Tom, look at me. Are we ever going to get married?
Thank you.
Well, you've never said that to me before.
I mean it. Thank you.
Amazing what a simple thank you can do. Introducing Thank You from Citi, a new kind of rewards program. Easy to earn, easy to redeem. That's a card you can count on.
You've been waiting all year for this moment to arrive. The one and only clearance at your Lincoln Mercury dealer. Get model year-end savings on every Lincoln and Mercury. From our award-winning SUVs to the legendary Town Car and the spacious Grand Marquis. Get 0% APR or up to $6,000 cash back on select Lincoln and Mercury vehicles, plus your dealer's best model year-end price. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer now for best selection.
Trey Wingo here with you in our baseball studios, updating you on the game between the Braves and the Phillies. If the Phillies lose this one, don't blame Jim Thome. Solo shot, 31st of the season, 9th straight 30 home run season. Those 31 lead the major leagues, but right now in this game, Braves still leading it 4-2. Dave and Jeff, back to you.
Thank you, Trey. Might wind up a 2-horse race when it comes to MVP in the National League. Scott Rowland, probably the odds-on favorite right now. He just grounded out to Ramirez on the first pitch of the inning from Zambrano. Thome has been incredible. Now, Jim Edmonds is about to swing, and this ought to be a fascinating at-bat. Go back to the first inning. His first time up. Hit by the pitch on the thigh. Boy, it found him. In the 4th inning, he found this one and knocked it out of Wrigley Field.
Well, that ball was up in the strike zone. Not a normal place where you see Zambrano throw the baseball.
And the reaction after that as he deals a strike to Edmonds. Carlos Zambrano hollering at him as he rounded the bases.
I can tell you right now, there is nothing that Carlos Zambrano wants to do more right now than strike him out.
Well, he's 2/3 of the way there.
And you were going to have some kind of fist pump if he gets Edmonds right here.
It's the second time Edmonds turned to argue with Joe Brinkman.
Well, Edmonds is not leaning out over that dish.
Swing and a miss. He's down on 3. Good morning, good afternoon, good night.
You know what I want? I want a credit card that's more than plastic. Give me magic.
Get Disney's Visa credit card only from Bank One.
I want rewards like Lion King DVDs, dinner with Cinderella, a Disney cruise vacation. I want rewards she can enjoy now while she's 6, not 36.
The only card that earns you magical rewards.
I don't want to hear about blackout dates and annual fees. That's not magic.
Get the magical rewards card from the Bank One card collection. Apply now.
I want a little magic.
People are always asking me, hey Mike, what makes this Bass Fishing World Championship such an exciting event? It all comes down to the competition. Let me tell you, these fish are smart. They're always trying to mess with your head. A cheeseburger? I don't remember packing a cheeseburger.
The Citgo Bassmaster Classic, presented by Busch. Friday, July 30th on ESPN2.
Don't you want them? The dreams, the deep sleep, the rested feeling the next day. Sleep is a beautiful thing. Get some with Dromius, the once nightly tablet for fast, deep sleep. Night after night after night. For a free sample, call or go online today.
It's pretty clear that a good night's sleep affects everything we do. Yep, everything. Which is the beauty of Dromius, the once nightly tablet for fast, deep sleep. Because good sleep night after night makes things better, day after day. For a free sample, call or go online today. Dromius. Sleep well.
Trey Wingo here. Due to time constraints, have to move ahead now in the game between the Cards and the Cubs, a game that is critical for Chicago. They came into this one having lost 7 of 10, and after tonight's game, they only have one more chance at the Cardinals all season long. They've got to take advantage of these games. Hey, programming note for you. Got a bunch of games coming your way on Wednesday. Major League Baseball tripleheader starts with the Reds and the Cubs, 2:15 on ESPN. Then the Angels and Rangers, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Finish it up with the Padres and Giants, 10 o'clock on ESPN2. More of the game with the Cubs and the Cards after the break. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Our big leader is Carl Zambrano, a bouncer from Saskatchewan. His hobbies are eating and lighting firecrackers. And it says here, Carl, you're looking forward to the 7th grade. You're going to be a teacher?
No, a student, Alex.
You mean you're not even in high school yet?
What is no? But I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Let's get some harder questions here, huh, Alex?
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Polite society tells us that it's rude to stare. But then along came the 2005 V6 Nissan Altima. With a new redesigned interior, a state-of-the-art navigation system and satellite radio, and a sleek, new, refined exterior. So go ahead, stare. Frankly, it'd be rude not to.
Champions, my friends.
Ah, the feeling of asking your doctor about Viagra.
What can the new spring collection teach us about a retirement plan?
Thank you, parents. Are there any other questions?
Yes, I have a question.
What works for someone else
It's about carpool.
may not work for you. Talk to one of our financial advisors. Together we can achieve uncommon results. Wachovia Securities.
New from Philips, the only flat TV in the world that creates an incredible viewing experience by combining breakthrough Pixel Plus 2 picture quality with exclusive built-in ambient lighting. Experience everything with Philips.
Got to admit, it's getting better, a little better.
Top of the 7th inning, Carlos Zambrano, 9-4 coming in with a .261 ERA. Has seen his ball club fight back behind him to tie up the ball game. Reggie Sanders swings mightily and misses. He has singled and grounded out in this one. We just saw a runner cut down at home plate. Aramis Ramirez, who's just having returned to the lineup after missing a bunch of games because of a groin strain. Sent home by Wendell Kim with nobody out on a base hit to right field. Nobody out in the inning. And nailed it to plate. Now granted, an excellent play by Reggie Sanders in right field. But I think the wisdom of that play, sending a guy in a bad wheel, getting thrown out at home plate, is up for debate.
I would have still sent him.
You still would have?
I still would have sent him because you got the bottom of the order coming up, and you know Zambrano is one of the hitters that's at the bottom of the order.
In there for a strike. Sanders will take a seat. He's caught looking. One man out. You can log on to MLB.com to follow baseball live on the web with MLB.com's real-time stats, game day audio, and MLB TV. MLB.com, where baseball is always on. And it's nightfall in Chicago. The way this rivalry is percolating along. Wendell Kim, I think he is definitely second guessing himself.
Well, I think that at that situation, normally the third base coach, what he's trying to pick up is, do you have the baseball in your possession as the base runner is rounding third? And Reggie did not have the ball as Ramirez came around third base.
You hold him and it's first and third, nobody out.
But you still have the bottom of the order out.
And that includes, by the way, Carlos Zambrano, who's 2 for 2. So I mean, he's an automatic hit. How can you send him there with Zambrano coming out? In there for a strike. By the way, 12 of his last 13 pitches delivered by Carlos Zambrano have been strikes. So he is really locked in.
I told you, don't get him mad.
Well, I think Edmonds got him mad, and then Renteria got him madder with his home run. Both of them taking him out of the ballpark. Ooh, just off the corner. Tim Cheetah said no swing.
Well, you can see Zambrano drops down his arm just a little bit as a slider, and you see it sweep out of the strike zone. That's definitely not a strike, but it is a good pitch with 2 strikes trying to get that swing.
Yeah, K-zone was right again, showing it was not a strike. Matheny in the ball game is hit into a double play. He's also struck out.
Dave, 96 miles an hour with a sinker boring in on you right-handed. Those sliders, any of them that are on the outside corner, very difficult to even make a judgment on.
Zambrano drills in the fastball at 96 miles an hour. Back-to-back strikeouts. He freezes Sanders and Matheny. 2 down. Here's a look through K-zone again.
Well, this is straight Picasso right here. Runs that ball right back to the outside corner. Forget about it. Can't swing at it. Can't hit it. Hollow of the knee right on the black.
That's right. Zambrano with a bunch of strikes. And Carpenter, he has struck out twice. Softly hit. Zambrano an easy play, and another 1-2-3 inning for him. He has set down 7 in a row. Zambrano rocking and rolling tonight, although it's all tied up in Chicago. 3-3.
New Line Cinema presents an epic story of love, passion, and the ultimate desire.
It's really good.
This Friday,
We're going to White Castle.
what are you hungry for?
Give me the double stuff.
From the director of
Dude, where's my car?
Are those my scissors?
Hey, check it out.
Dude, I trimmed my nose hair with those.
Can't believe you were gonna ditch me for the Join Luck Club.
Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. Rated R. Sneak preview this Friday starts everywhere July 30th.
I don't know what I was thinking.
I tried to tell you, genius.
I can't believe I'm in this situation. We're not having fun anymore.
I'm feeling your pain.
I don't know what to do.
Hey, look at me. We all make mistakes.
Told you about the tires, huh?
Yeah. Should have gotten Cooper.
Buying tires is a big decision. Next time, get everything you want. Cooper Tires. Don't give up a thing.
If you want to update your home without lifting a finger, you can. Through the Home Depot, licensed experts can install siding, roofing, even garage doors. License numbers available at your local store. And right now, get no payments, no interest for 12 months on any installed Clopay Coachman garage door. A Home Depot exclusive. Just use your Home Depot consumer credit card. Trust your installation to the one place with the know-how to get it done right. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
With the dollar menu, I get a lot for a little. And nobody's got a problem with that.
Wrigley Field, bottom of the 7th inning. The fans have had their stretch, and we're still knotted up 3-3. Jeff Brantley, Dave O'Brien, Gary Miller with you. Carlos Zambrano is 2 for 2 at the plate, and he's been right in the middle of all the fun and frolic tonight.
So you're saying he would be the guy that would be driving in the run if they left him at third base?
I think it would have been automatic, right? The way he's swinging the bat, it's obvious for all of us watching.
Pitcher.
He's a pitcher who can swing it. He homered last year from both sides of the plate. I mean, he's a switch hitting pitcher. That's a little bit different from you guys who only hit from one side of the plate.
What do you mean, you guys?
Well, you were strictly a right-handed hitter. The few times you did get to.
No, you said you guys. Tried to drop some kind of like the schlep rock on
the collective pitching community. That's what
I think you said like you guys, meaning like I was thinking.
Oh, no. I think, you know, take that as you will. Fouled at the plate by Zambrano, but this is a guy who knows a thing or two about hitting. And Zambrano also right in the middle of it tonight. He's had that shout down of Jim Edmonds after Zambrano had hit Edmonds with a pitch. Edmonds came back, hit one out of the ballpark, and as he went around the bases, he was shouting at him the whole way. Zambrano
he was shouting at him like this. I mean, he was all over him.
And the bench is cleared moments later. So in a lot of ways, a very typical Cardinals-Cubs game. That one inside for
where is that?
Now Zambrano backed away. He bailed out.
Look at him. Even Zambrano's laughing at that pitch. What's this pitch right here?
Oh, certainly.
That is a strike.
He swings back toward the hill.
That is not.
Carpenter sets him down. We've seen some pretty good pitching here tonight, and all through the marvelous career of that man, Greg Maddux. Now in the Chicago Cubs rotation, you've seen brilliant pitching. 297 career wins at the age of 38. Of course, Roger Clemens among active players, already well over 300. Now 41 years old. Tom Glavine's getting closer. Then you have Randy Johnson, Mike Mussina, David Wells, and Kevin Brown among those guys who are now, I mean, nearing the tail end of their career and getting into the photo as far as making a run at 300. But will we ever see anyone after Maddux, at least among this current crop of young pitchers, who you think could make a legitimate charge at 300?
I think when you talk about that, Dave, you've got to talk about guys that can have a great work ethic, they can keep themselves healthy, and they have great mechanics, and they have an idea about what they need to do pitching wise. I think all of those factors combined are what allow you to be on this list, this type of list right here. And we do have some of those guys, but you've got to have a little bit of luck on your side to be able to get to that point in your career where you can go out and win that many ball games.
JB, what's fascinating is this is over the last 20 years. All these great names, as Corey Patterson steps in, he's 2 for 3 tonight. Over the last 20 years, these guys, Steve Carlton, Tom Seaver, Knucksie, Don Sutton, Nolan Ryan, and Roger Clemens, have reached that 300-win plateau. In the next 20, are we going to see a single guy after that man does it when he gets 3 more victories? It's going to be a long wait and see, I think. At the end of 7, still tied, 3-3 at Wrigley.
Want a piece of this?
Impress a billionaire.
When Mark meets me, he'll want to give me the money.
Become a millionaire.
I will do whatever it takes to win.
Impress me. It's worth it.
The Benefactor, ABC Mondays this fall.
There are good ideas. There are great ideas. Then there are ideas that meet a higher standard. And those are the only ideas that make it into our trucks and SUVs. GMC Professional Grade Engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah.
You've got enough to worry about without having to worry about your car. That's why at 75,000 miles, switch to Valvoline's Max Life. Its added ingredients help prevent wear on critical engine parts.
Hello, gorgeous girl.
At 75,000, time to switch to Max Life. And introducing Max Life Synthetic, another good reason to switch to Max Life.
And that was good because I was already going to the same building to see my podiatrist. because I was having a problem with my foot. I had to
Boring your friends to death? Then watch The Tech Effect tonight at 9 on the History Channel.
You know what I want? I want a credit card that's more than plastic. Give me magic.
Get Disney's Visa credit card only from Bank One.
I want rewards like Lion King DVDs, dinner with Cinderella, a Disney cruise vacation. I want rewards she can enjoy now while she's 6, not 36.
The only card that earns you magical rewards.
I don't want to hear about blackout dates and annual fees. That's not magic.
Get the magical rewards card from the Bank One card collection. Apply now.
I want a little magic.
Trey, we can go here due to time constraints. We have to move ahead now in the game between the Cards and the Cubs, and the Cards may never want the month of July to end. They came into this one at Wrigley having gone 11-2 in the month of July. More of the game now. Dave O'Brien and Jeff Brantley have the call. Enjoy.
Pujols in the game was walked in the first inning. That was with Womack at third base. Clearly Zambrano wanted no part of him there and pitched around him, although it was not technically an intentional walk, and he has gone 0 for 2 since then. And that is way outside for a ball.
Well, here's the situation, Dave. You know, as a pitcher, you know who you can and who you cannot get out. And we know that if Tony Womack scores here, the game is probably going to be over with Isringhausen in the bullpen for the Cardinals. But if you pitch around Pujols here and you get a ground ball from Scott Rowland,
bounding ball past third but foul.
You've got your chance for a double play and you're out of the inning. But you got to roll the dice either way.
Well, it's pick your poison. Is it Pujols or is it Rowland? Rowland with 84 runs batted in. Pujols 65 and a .334 career hitter with over 120 RBIs a year each of his first 3 years in the majors. He helped him out there. He chased a bad ball maybe outside the strike zone, and it's 2-2.
Well, that just shows you the versatility of a guy like Carlos Zambrano. Watch him drop down with his slider. The ball looks like it's coming right at Pujols, and the ball breaks all the way from the inside corner all the way off the plate. First time tonight that we've seen that pitch.
Even a great hitter like Pujols could not connect on that pitch. It had so much action on it. Here's the 2-2. Fouled away, and that one also got the home plate umpire Brinkman. He got drilled by that foul tip by Albert.
You've got to love the competition in this situation between a guy like Carlos Zambrano and a great hitter like Pujols. This is the ball game right here.
That sharp foul ball caromed off the dirt. And it got Brinkman. And the veteran umpire, still with the mask on, is on his knees. And another indication what a tough position it is, the home plate umpire spot, especially with as many big strong hitters as you have in a game like St. Louis and the Cubs. He's up now. Well, Sunday night ESPN HD will be the best way to see baseball's best rivalry, the Yankees and the Red Sox. For a complete ESPN HD schedule, log on to ESPN.com and search HD Sunday Night Baseball at 8 o'clock Eastern. The Red Sox and the New York Yankees.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Pujols at the plate, and the go-ahead run in Tony Womack, the speedster, at third base, with Mr. Demonstrative on the mound, Carlos Zambrano. If he strikes him out right here, we're going to see some kind of pimping
You
around
see
the
me and man levitate right on the hill. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. He struck him out.
Wow.
Number 8 for Zambrano. 2 down.
You think that kid sitting on the mound has got any fear at all? Look at this pitch. Right on the outside corner, right at the bottom of the strike zone. Pujols has no choice but to go after it, especially with 2 strikes.
The surprise of the night, he doesn't react at all. He reacted like he just threw ball 4.
He's got 1 more batter to go.
And that batter is Scott Rowland. Man at third, 2 down. Fouled away. Rowland took a cut. In the game, he has struck out, singled, and grounded to third.
I tell you what amazes me is watching the faces of both of these guys, both Carlos Zambrano and watching the face of Scott Rowland. You talk about concentration in this situation. It is amazing watching these guys.
Tied up 3-3 in the 8th.
Eyes locked up on that baseball.
Just outside. 98 miles an hour.
You think his heart's beating? Mine is.
You're not alone here. Not in this ballpark.
If your heart's not beating right now, oh, man.
The 1-1 pitch. 2-1.
Tell you what, that's amazing amount of patience shown by Scott Rowland right there on both of those pitches. Fastball just off the plate away, and then a fastball up, elevated across the middle of the plate. He's looking for a ball down in the strike zone that he can hit right back up the middle and get Tony Womack home.
Womack at third base, the 2-1. Swinging a drive, high and deep left center field. Rowland tagged it. He tagged it out of here. That's a 2-run homer for the #1 RBI man in baseball. Given number 85 and 86. Scott Rowland strikes for a 2-run shot off Carlos Zambrano. With 2 down in the 8th, it is 5-3 St. Louis.
That's why we talked about MVP consideration when we mentioned the name Scott Rowland. You see the big guy. Pujols goes down with a strikeout with a runner at third base. 2-out home run. 2-run jack with a runner at third base. Not a single up the middle. This is in the seats.
Mercy. Here's Edmonds. He gets hit for the second time. Drilled by Zambrano for the second time in the ball game. Here comes the Cardinal bench again. They are livid with Zambrano. And I believe he has just been tossed out of the ball game by Joe Brinkman. Indeed he has. Zambrano gives up the home run to Rowland. And then he drills Edmonds to get himself ejected. He's not going to hang around. He is tossed out of the ball game. Edmonds, who had also homered off him back in the 4th inning. But then Zambrano came back and struck him out in the 6th inning. And I think Carlos Zambrano still has a lot of work to do on corralling his emotions.
Dave, I told you this was not over with even before that. Look at these guys in the dugout. They're chomping at the bit to get out there at Zambrano.
Well, the Cubs are going to need a new pitcher, and it's going to be Mike Remlinger. He's coming on to finish up here.
What a rivalry.
Yeah, amazing. 2-run homer, 5-3 St. Louis.
Your car's ready. You're going to love it.
We're set.
Is your old stuff good enough for your new car? Is your old cut-rate car insurance company? It's time to move up to a State Farm agent. Someone who can help you get the coverage you need at a price that fits. Life gets better. Shouldn't your car insurance company?
If you're gonna play this game, you have to stay in shape, especially you older guys. Ready, Billy. Now everybody start hopping. Oh, shake those butts. It's a very important stretch. Faster. Feel it?
Oh, yeah. Does that one feel good? Woo! Boys and Girls Clubs is the official charity of Major League Baseball. Together, they create a positive place for kids.
Stop weighing yourself every day. You'll make yourself crazy. I'm Dr. Greg Cinnamone, and there are diet pills that lure you into thinking you're losing fat when all you've lost is meaningless weight. Cortislim suggests you hide your scale for the next 30 days while they show you a smarter way to measure weight loss success. How you look in the mirror and how loose your clothes fit. It's that easy. Cortislim, coupled with intelligent diet and exercise, impacts so many weight problems, including the cortisol hormone that stashes excess pounds and inches around your stubborn weight loss areas. One popular radio personality tells his audience he stopped weighing himself, but knows Cortislim is working because he's fitting into clothes he couldn't come close to wearing in months. Make Cortislim the scientific centerpiece of your healthy diet and exercise regimen and fit into the clothes you want to wear.
Call 1-800-752-2510. Call now.
Monday Night Baseball from Chicago. Moments ago, Edmonds struck by a pitch thrown by Carlos Zambrano for the second time of the ball game. It was after Scott Rowland hit a two-run homer. First inning. First time up, Edmonds was hit by a pitch by Zambrano. The fourth inning, he hit back a two-run homer to make it 2-0 St. Louis, and then he jaunted him all the way around the bases. He made sure that Edmonds heard his displeasure. Then in the eighth inning, Rowland knocks this one out of Wrigley. That makes it 5-3 St. Louis. Zambrano's still pitching, but not for long. He hits Edmonds completely on purpose again, and he is tossed out of the game by Joe Brinkman. So his final line, 7 2/3. He throws 108 pitches. He strikes out 8, and he also gives up 3 home runs.
Well, you said it yourself, Dave. This game is still winnable for the Chicago Cubs. But if you're going to be a guy that's going to be a leader of the staff and a starting pitcher, you've got to keep yourself in the ball game. You've got to keep your control a little bit better than what we saw Carlos Zambrano tonight. And I know that they've talked to him about it. I'm as big a preacher as pitching inside as there is anybody in the game, but this is way overboard to be able to. He just took himself out of the ball game by hitting Jim Edmonds the way that he did.
Remlinger appearing in his 18th game. The left-hander facing Ray Langford here. Langford has gone 0 for 3. Langford at .261 with 5 homers. He's driven in 18 runs. There are 2 out. Edmonds, you wonder if he can even run if he has to here. He's been hit by 2 pitches. A high fly to center field. And Patterson has all night to get underneath it. And the side is retired. But another big blast by Scott Rowland. His 20th of the year. Now 86 RBIs.
Today, you're a super painter with the amazing Wagner Wide Shot Power Painter. Fast and neat. It lets you paint up to 12 inches wide in one pass. The Power Painter. One of the ways Wagner gives you more power, because there's always something that needs painting. Wagner. Paint fast. Paint smart.
You know what I want? I want a credit card that's more than plastic. Give me magic.
Get Disney's Visa credit card only from Bank One.
I want rewards like Lion King DVDs, dinner with Cinderella, a Disney cruise vacation. I want rewards she can enjoy now while she's 6, not 36.
The only card that earns you magical rewards.
I don't want to hear about blackout dates and annual fees. That's not magic.
Get the magical rewards card from the Bank One card collection. Apply now.
I want a little magic.
Things are heating up this summer. Write off on any new Honda with low 6.9% fixed APR financing for up to 5 years upon approved credit. Or 3.9% fixed APR financing for up to 3 years upon approved credit on VTX 1800 or Goldwing. Plus, now get up to $200 in bonus bucks on select motorcycles and ATVs. Or $2,000 in bonus bucks on VTX 1800. So hurry to your Honda dealer. The summer won't be this hot for long.
Can I tell you a secret? My man takes Levitra. Let's just say he notices a difference in the experience. Like, we should do this more often difference. And why Levitra? Levitra helps improve erectile quality for men with ED. For my guy, Levitra works fast. And it gives him the quality response that he wants, time and again. It's why he counts on Levitra.
Levitra is only for men healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Levitra if you take nitrates for chest pains or alpha blockers for prostate problems or high blood pressure, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, and stuffy or runny nose. In the rare case an erection lasts for more than 4 hours, seek immediate medical attention.
My man takes Levitra. It's about the quality. And for him, Levitra works. Just look at that smile. Talk to your doctor today. Levitra. Quality when it counts.
No matter where life takes you, Dell can build a notebook that's right for you. Like this powerful Dell 600M notebook with wireless Intel Centrino mobile technology, so you can stay connected just about anywhere. For a limited time, get a free combo drive upgrade. And free Kodak digital camera. Other Dell notebooks start at just $699 after mail-in rebate. It's just a click or call away. Easy as Dell. Dell PCs use Intel Centrino mobile technology.
Trey Wingo here with you. You guys seeing a pretty good game. Also a good game at Shea. Mets had a 5-4 lead in the ninth, tied up at 5. And who else but pinch hitter Lenny Harris comes through with the go-ahead run. Marlins now leading at 6-5. Back to you guys.
Trey, thank you very much. Sammy Sosa, the batter, bottom half of the 8th inning, 5-3 St. Louis leads. But it's Sosa, Alou, and Lee up against Chris Carpenter, who's been pretty economical. He's only needed 84 pitches to get this far. 1 ball and 1 strike on Sosa. He's been quiet in the big fly department tonight, sitting on 556 career home runs. Next up for Sammy, Reggie Jackson, 563.
Well, the one thing that I've noticed about Carpenter tonight is, yes, he has given up quite a bit of hits, but anytime that he's had to make a pitch to keep himself in the ball game or keep his team in the ball game, he's made that pitch.
Ground ball routinely to Renteria. On to Pujols for the first out in the bottom of the 8th inning. There's allowed 11 hits, but 5 of them came in the 5th inning. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Sammy Sosa just stopped at the pitcher's mound after grounding out to have a quick word with Chris Carpenter. Boys and Girls Club, by the way, the official charity of Major League Baseball. Together, they create a positive place for kids. So the electricity continues on both sides of the diamond here as Sosa paused there to talk with Carpenter. Now, what would he have to say to Chris Carpenter, who hasn't come close to hitting anybody in a game? Let's take a look. This is seconds after Sammy Sosa had grounded out to short. Now, Carpenter may have said something to Sosa. Sammy came, turned around. And that looked like it was like make amends. This one driven deep to left center. Moises Alou got all of it. It's gone. Alou has driven in 3 runs tonight, a solo shot, and it's a 1-run game again. 5-4 St. Louis. And here come the Cubs trying to come off the deck here. They are 8 games out. This is a 2-game series, and then that's all they will see of St. Louis the rest of the year. For Alou, his 21st home run.
Fastball middle of the plate. That's a definite no-no to Moises Alou, especially in this type of ball game. He's going to hit that off the countryside.
Well, you go back to Aramis Ramirez in the 6th inning, being thrown out at home plate with nobody out. Wendell Kim sent him. He was cut down at home by Reggie Sanders. And how big will that play loom now that it's a 1-run contest again? Here's Derek Lee. He's 1 for 3 as he fouls that one away. A single back in the 4th. It looked like, as we were concentrating on Sammy Sosa and Chris Carpenter, as if Carpenter was saying, well, basically, in your role as the captain of the Cubs,
you better say something to Zambrano.
Yeah.
Otherwise, somebody's going to get hurt.
And let's calm this thing down.
That's exactly right. You can see this right here. He calls Sammy back. He says, as he's getting the ball, he says something to Sammy, and as he comes back, he says, you better say something to Zambrano. Somebody's going to get hurt.
And Sammy appeared to be nodding in agreement as Derek Lee strikes out. 2 down. Let's take a look at K-zone as Carpenter rings up a strikeout.
Well, this breaking ball, you can really see Derek Lee looking for that fastball. You can see his back bend backwards. Anytime you start to fade away from the plate and you've got that bender coming in there, it's over.
Ramirez taking a strike. He has doubled, struck out, and grounded out. As mentioned, thrown out at home plate. He lays off, and it's outside. With all the histrionics of Carlos Zambrano while he was in there before he was tossed out by Joe Brinkman, in comparison, Chris Carpenter has been the pro of pros with his approach. High fly down the left field line, but he pulled it too much, and it's off into the seats. Ramirez has hit 15 home runs as he examines the bat. Another look at his swing.
Well, you can see this pitch. He catches it just a little bit out front. If he stays back just a hair longer, that ball's on to Waveland.
The 1-2 up and away. 2 down, bases empty. 5-4 in the bottom of the 8th.
This is what gives the Chicago Cubs some threat at the bottom of the order when you have this guy in the lineup.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So despite giving up his 12th hit of the game and a home run, Carpenter survives the 8th. Bottom of the order due up for St. Louis as we go to the 9th.
You've been waiting all year for this moment to arrive. The one and only clearance at your Lincoln Mercury dealer. A short time when you can get the best savings of the year on every Lincoln and Mercury, including Navigator, the midsize Aviator, and the versatile Mountaineer. Get 0% APR or up to $4,500 cash back, plus $500 Ford credit cash on Lincoln Mercury SUVs. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer now for best selection.
What is it about our new fire-grilled chicken and shrimp that entices you back for more? Right now, only at Romano's Macaroni Grill.
America's favorite home gym is more affordable than ever. Now you can get the all-new Bowflex Extreme for just $19 a month. That's less than most health club dues. Great results are easy. Just one simple workout, 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week to get in awesome shape. Powerful arms, defined legs, and a toned, sexy core are just a phone call away. Call us for a free DVD or video, or visit us online to get a real Bowflex for just $19 a month today.
Hey, buddy, ready to go?
The right jeans make all the difference. Introducing Genworth Financial, built on GE heritage, now creating our own legacy.
The clock will continue to run. 4th down, seconds remaining. They're going to need to call a TO.
Yo, this is T.O.
Game Informer calls it the one football game you must have.
Yeah.
And IGN says it will own your soul. Get ESPN NFL 2K5 from ESPN Video Games.
Hey, how'd you get this number?
Rated E for everyone.
Trey Wingo here. Due to time constraints, we have to move ahead now in the game between the Cards and the Cubs. And the Cards may never want the month of July to end. They came into this one at Wrigley having gone 11-2 in the month of July. More of the game now. Dave O'Brien and Jeff Brantley have the call. Enjoy. Trey Wingo back with you. A little drama at Shea. Marlins got 2 in the 9th. Mets got the tying run on, but Armando Benitez strikes out Cliff Floyd. Marlins beat the Mets. They're both 3 games now behind the Phillies, behind the Braves, rather, who beat the Phillies. Meanwhile, Dodgers and Astros down by 3 until Morgan Ensberg with 2 on in the 6th. His 4th home run of the season. They've all come this month. Stros back on top, 6-5. Dave and Jeff, back to you.
Thank you, Trey. Here 5-4 St. Louis, and we are going to the bottom of the 9th as they lead the Cubs by 1. The bottom 3 coming up for Chicago. We invite you to log on to MLB.com to follow baseball live on the web with MLB.com's real-time stats, game day audio, and MLB TV. MLB.com, where baseball is always on. And so Taguchi is in the game, taking over in right field for the Cardinals.
Now, surely we don't expect this to go 3 up, 3 down, do we?
We shall find out. Isringhausen has been that close to automatic lately. Ground ball up the middle. Renteria with the stop behind the bag. 1 pitch and 1 man out. Well, the last 21 batters in order have failed to get a hit off of Jason Isringhausen.
Yeah, but this is the Cubs. Nothing's gone ordinary in this ball game.
That is for sure.
I think everybody on the team's been on the field. Dusty's out of the game. He's watching TV. Zambrano's in the dugout.
Zambrano's been booted out of the ball game after hitting Jim Edmonds not once but twice.
Home runs all over the place.
Edmonds homered off Zambrano. Here's Alex Gonzalez, and he takes outside for ball 1. Bottom of the 9th inning, 1 down. A Cubs loss pushes them 9 games back in the division. And only one more crack at the Cardinals for the rest of the regular season tomorrow night here at Wrigley. Outside by the right-hander.
Well, the last thing that you want if you're a Chicago Cub fan is to lose. I mean, even a split at this point is that's not good enough. All it does is still put you at 8 games out. You had to come in here and sweep out your own place.
2-0 pitch that's over the low for ball 3.
After tomorrow, we will not see the Cardinals that play the Cubs again, and it's July. Who's making this schedule?
3-0. He missed badly for ball 4.
I did not tell you we had something going on here.
Todd Walker will bat now, and tonight after the game, it's Sports Center with Stuart Scott and John Anderson as the Braves and Phillies battle for first place. Peter Gammons talks about potential trades and the new look LA Lakers, all coming up.
Todd Walker, a fastball hitter's coming to the plate. You know that Isringhausen is going to try to get ahead with that fastball. Middle in, wind blowing out.
Yeah, 1 out.
It might get real loud in here.
Bottom of the ninth, I think it's about to. That, by the way, the first time the Cubs have accepted a walk all night. Walker takes low. Ball 1. Tony La Russa trying to hang on here and grab the first of the quick 2-game set with Chicago.
I guarantee you Walker's looking middle in, fastball about knee to thigh high that he can jack out of here down that right field line and catch that wind.
He's 2 for 5 lifetime off Isringhausen. Fastball right through there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Walker's hit 11 home runs and batting .281 overall. The tying run is aboard. Gonzalez getting a short lead and the 1-1 pitch. 2-1 now.
Even the best closers feel that heartbeat when you come in here. It's the Cubs. It's the Cardinals. You know your heart's beating as fast as you can feel it. Hands sweating.
The 2-1 pitch is off the corner. He's gone to 3-1 now. And certainly a fastball coming for Todd Walker.
Last thing you want to do is walk the tying run to second base. I believe we're going to see a fastball right here. See what you got, Todd. Let's see what you got.
The 3-1. Trying to hold up, he could not. That's a strike. He thought he had ball 4, but he went around on it. He flipped the bat, but Joe Brinkman said, no, you swung it. And it's 3-2 now.
I believe Brinkman is the one that made this call, not the first base umpire.
Definitely.
Oh, that's a definite swing right there. Well, Isringhausen sure fooled me. And that just goes to show you Todd Walker's definitely looking for that fastball middle in to swing at that pitch right there at 3-1.
And he gets a sweeping breaking ball. Instead, here comes the 3-2 pitch. The second baseman, Womack, to Renteria run on the first and double play, and that's on the ball game end. St. Louis turns 2 and wins it by a final score of 5-4. In a game that had a little bit of everything and a whole lot of electricity. St. Louis beats the Cubs again. They take game 1 of the series, which ends tomorrow night with a second and final game here at Wrigley Field. Our final score, the Cardinals 5 and the Cubs 4. Carpenter the winner. Zambrano, who got tossed out, is the loser. Isringhausen picks up save number 23. For Jeff Brantley, Gary Miller, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Dave O'Brien. We certainly hope you enjoyed it. This was a dandy on a Monday night at Wrigley. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. SportsCenter coming your way next. Again, your final, St. Louis 5, the Cubs 4. Good night from Wrigley Field.
On the way, the Titans' all-time leading rusher makes a sudden career move. Why Eddie George wants out of Tennessee. And from Dream Job fame to the real thing, my co-anchor and your pick is Dream Job's best bet. Mike Hall making his SportsCenter debut. Coming right up now.
This is SportsCenter.
A fight for first takes off in Texas. A rivalry gets personal at Wrigley. And the Yankees fight back down in Tampa. Plus, which major players could be on the move ASAP? The Lakers had a blast from the past. Why T.O. should avoid Ray Lewis at all costs. And after his fiery escape, the soonest Dale Jr. could be back on track. Make room for SportsCenter now.
America has spoken with 60% of the vote. Mike Hall, you are the Dream Job winner. What's up, colleague? What's up, colleague?
Oh, baby. Hi, and welcome to SportsCenter. Linda Cohn with, Mike Hall. Congratulations on moving out of your parents' basement for one, graduating college, that's another thing. But the big news, congrats for getting your hair cut.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, but seriously, Mike, the dream is over. It is time to put you to work, and I'm a nice person. You know what? You can have the first highlight.
See, now that's so very nice of you. Thank you very much, Linda. And being from Chicago, why not start there as the Cubs and Cardinals getting together at Wrigley as St. Louis tries to improve to 12-2 in July. Dusty Baker and the Cubs have lost 7 of the last 10. Top of the first, Carlos Zambrano hits Jim Edmonds on the first pitch, and that was just the beginning in this game. Top of the fourth, Edmonds next at bat. Yeah, that's called payback. First pitch from Zambrano for a 2-run shot, his 22nd on the year. And look at what happens as Edmonds rounds third. Zambrano has a couple of words to say for him. You look nice. I like your suit. I think it was something along those lines. It's a great rivalry for fans, and today it was a great rivalry for the players. While Edmonds is on the bench, Michael Barrett yells at him in his direction. Bench is clear. No punches are thrown. Tony Stewart and Casey Kane nowhere to be found, interesting enough. To the bottom of the fifth, the Cubs are down 3-1. Chris Carpenter pitching. Moises Alou with a bloop-a-loop-a-loop. Bring a green hat. To center field, 2 runs are going to score. This game's tied up at 3. 6th inning, same score. Edmonds up again. Zambrano 1, 2, and at least give it a shot on this one, Jim. He swings, misses. Zambrano happy, strikeouts. To the top of the 8th, Scott Rowland up. He's got a couple RBIs this year. He's got a couple more. Rowland with a 2-run shot off Zambrano, his 20th. His 8th year in his career with 20 home runs. Cards lead 5-3. Next pitch, Zambrano, and this is called payback.
Oh.
Second time he hits Edmonds in the game, Zambrano would be ejected. Said La Russa afterwards, I don't care what the rivalry is, you're not allowed to cross the line in this game. Their pitcher did twice. Bottom 9, Cubs down 5-4. Jason Isringhausen to Todd Walker for the 4-6-3 double play. Game is over. Cardinals pick up the victory at 5-4. As the weather's gotten warmer, so has Jim Edmonds. He's homered 6 times in his last 10 games and is hitting a sizzling .372 in July. Edmonds has 14 hits against the Cubs this season, and 8 of them have been home runs.
The Rangers, a season-high 15 games above 500. Carl Everett on deck. First game of the White Sox since being traded from the Expos. Carlos Lee says hi to Joaquin Benoit. It is gone for his 13th of the year. Lee with 7 homers in 15 games this month. It's 7-1 White Sox, Carl Everett. He's been lifting. 3rd homer overall, of course, the first with the White Sox. Everett 2 for 5, 2 runs scored in this game. Nice debut. Mark Teixeira has hit a homer in his last 4 games. Should we make it 5 in a row for Mark Teixeira facing John Atkins, bottom of the 9th? I say so. Number 22 on the year. With a homer in his 5th straight game, he ties the Ranger record held by Carl Everett and A-Rod. The White Sox go double figures for the 16th time this year.